We need background music. Come on, director. Where are you? This'll do. Fan. Okay, filter. Thumbnail image. Let's give him a little drink. If you want your cactus to grow fast. Bug, 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 bug. Ah. This is the mascot of the channel. Mr. Cacti. Yeah. Put him back in his home. In the sun. Man, it's beautiful today. And it is bright out. What am I doing here? Today's stream, sponsored by Monster Energy. Where's my check? So, what are we doing today? Let's just jump right into it. Let's think. No, we don't even have to think. I already set up what we're doing today. Make sure my levels are good. Oh, life is good. Make sure my voice is okay.
Is that better? Is that better or worse? Better, worse, maybe?
Nah, we'll save that one. Bam. Okay, sorry, just setting everything up. Unorganized today. What are we doing, Matt? What are we doing? Okay, so today we're setting up affiliate offers, and I mistakenly killed the music. Bam. We're setting up affiliate offers. We found some. So yesterday I did some review. Reached out to my reps who are gems, by the way. Thank you guys. And I found some offers that I want to promote. So it is officially Make New Offer Monday. Sounds good, right? And here's some more of the process. So what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be reviewing this, making sure it's okay to go. You know, there's going to be some stuff that we have to change. Of course, there's always stuff we have to change. Just to make sure it's policy compliant. I'll have to refresh the page. But what are we promoting? Let's turn down the music a little bit, but keep it bumping still. Gotta give you guys something. I've had lots of computer problems today. Oh, one of those days. So if you see a black screen at the top, or if my webcam freezes, I'm just punching right through my monitor. Moving on with life. But let's jump in. So first one I found, and I went over it yesterday, was Home Doctor. I think this is a good one. We got to look at the times we're in. Everyone's getting sick. My kids are getting sick. And we all know what happens when hospitals fill up. So yeah. We'll just basically go over this page. Make sure it meets our standards. Right now it is being advertised on Facebook. So we shouldn't get banned for it. We shouldn't, but we may. So, always gotta be careful, right? Gotta make sure we're good on this side. So we're gonna review the offer first. First the text, then the video. The video doesn't look like it's gonna be the most policy compliant. What's that? Mission control? I'm not sure why my resolution is at 1920 by 1088. Did I mess this up? Have I been screwing this up this whole time? Output. Stream. Okay. I don't need options. Oh, we're about 8 pixels too big. No, our output is it's not that. But whatever. This is one of those things that you just fix later. Alright, so jumping into it, first we have Home Doctor, and then ultimatesurvivalfoods.com/book. The U.S. Army's Forgotten Food Mirror. Okay, so we found some stuff we have to change. The Lost Superfoods with Art Rude. So don't be rude, Art. But we'll start with Home Doctor. So I'm just going to go over this live. I'm going to get it ready. We'll do the same thing that we did before. I'll build the landing page. I'll review the creative. I'll make creative. I'll launch the ads. I'll make money and show you guys how. And a very small percentage of you guys actually will do it. But the ones who do, you'll see the light and see that this is the best form of marketing you could do right now. Service-based industry, not for me. According to my reviews, Matt's too much of an asshole and is not willing to do meetings anymore, which is right. Okay, anyways. All right, let's turn this music down significantly. With that static and everything. All right, so looking at this page, I don't think I want to start with this headline. We got our handy dandy notepad here. That's probably trademarked and I'm going to get sued for it later. So I'm just going to add some replace title with something not garlic related. Video, we'll view it after. Okay, the Home Doctor Practical Medicine for Every Household is a 304-page doctor written and approved. Okay, you can say that if it's true. Guide on how to manage most health situations when help is not on the way. Completely reasonable, completely ethical. We can work with that. If you want to see what happens when things go south, all you have to do is like I said last stream, I don't want to talk about compare us to Venezuela. I don't want to strike fear in people. There's different types of sentiment you could have with your ads, and this is not the type of sentiment that I want to have with my ads. You know, energy drink sentiment, yes. That kind of sentiment, nah, we're good. Oh, so good. But if you want to find out how you can still manage in situations like this, you must also look to Venezuela and learn ingenious ways to develop a GOPE. About Dr. Mabel Neves. Oh, it actually is a doctor. She holds x-rays. She wears a mask while doing surgery. That's probably good. I'm all for mask mandate while doing surgery. Head surgeon of the Unit of Breast Pathology and general surgeon at Caracas University Hospital in Venezuela, with over 10 years experience in the operating room. Oh, I figured she'd be a U.S. Based. She studied at the prestigious European Institute of Oncology in Milan, Italy. It's probably a bad idea for me to read during this stream because I ain't read well. No, English has always been my worst subject. Well, arbitrage is my best subject. What are we even getting on the side here? Oh, it's my part of my mic. Okay. So let's just jump into it because that's all we could really do. Dr. Mabel is known for developing new, ingenious methods of treating patients after Venezuela's economy capped and hospitals, pharmacies ran out of medicine, supplies, electricity, and running water. Actually, I knew somebody from Venezuela. Shout out Marco. Well, it was collapsing too at the same time. He was making, weapons and all this other stuff while he was in his house, and he eventually made his way to Canada. And I'm glad, very smart guy, an absolute economic mammoth, and a language mammoth too at the same time. A message she developed and pioneered are now studied and applied in conflict zones all over the world. Oh, that's awesome. I wonder if I could sell these in conflict areas. Just kidding. Many of these protocols and procedures do not require medical assistance. They're specifically designed to be self-applied. That makes them extremely valuable, blah, blah, blah. Policy compliant. You can find some of these methods below. Here's just a small glimpse of what you'll find in the Home Doctor, Practical Medicine for Every Household. See, having a parenting blog, I believe it is good to have this kind of thing. I'd love to have it because, while I'm driving to the ER, because my son bit through his tongue while running up the stairs, which has happened, and it's bleeding everywhere. And it's more than just like, oh, it's a little tiny. No, this was significant. It's good to have these methods. So this book is a unique guide for the layman. It's amazing how that kind of terms really work. You want to really kind of preface the whole, this is for everybody. Oh, I should have started recording this locally earlier, but tabernacle. What can you do? All right, next one. This book is a unique guide for the layman that you can use, blah, blah, blah. Let me show you some of the things. 10 medical supplies you need to have in your house. These supplies are not expensive and should still be available, but they tend to run out fast. In case you haven't realized it, most medical supplies and pills we take for granted come from China and India. The supply chain is vulnerable and can be interrupted by something like an EMP. I'd probably remove the hate on China and India and probably remove the EMP. Because that's crazy talk, One of the 10 supplies you should have in advance is a painkiller called naproxen. I kind of want to remove that. I don't want to recommend people get painkillers in my landing page. It can in the book. which is over the counter and more powerful than others like ibuprofen, for example. The biggest mistake you can make in a blackout in Venezuela. You don't need to have the Venezuela turn into a rare unprotected commodity. They don't have it all the time, and blackouts have become normal. You'll learn about the biggest medical mistakes you can make in a blackout and what to do with important medications that require refrigeration, like insulin or Humira. I don't know. How to recognize a heart attack and what to do next. Look for this. See, this is all policy compliant. Another step: chances for us to chew on an aspirin. Put a vial of nitroglycerin under your tongue. Maybe not include that part. But you need to have these items beforehand. What happens when you take expired medications? No country in the world has used more expired medications than Venezuela. See, that is one of the really interesting things. That they can work. Dr. Maybell and other doctors were able to see what happens firsthand. It's almost guaranteed to surprise you. Most medications you have in your medicine cabinets are good for years after expiration dates. I'll let them take that liability, so pay close attention to this chapter, so-called expired. The only 4 antibiotics people should stockpile. Because it's prescription, may not include this. Modern antibiotics are lifesavers. See, this is currently being advertised on Facebook right now. So it is policy compliant enough. But I don't want to take risks, and I don't want to take ethical risks, and I don't want the FTC knocking at my door. Because they will. They know me quite well. No, they don't. They contain distinctive substances that act very differently, blah, blah, blah. Important is having food stockpiles. No. But under no circumstance. Okay, that's good that they put that. The best natural painkiller that grows in your own backyard. You'd say that because it's the best natural painkiller. Another thing you'll discover is the best natural blah, blah, blah. It grows all over North America. Great. An ingenious way to stockpile prescription medicines, including is legal and safe. Okay. I don't need any insulin, but I'll take notes, you know? Why not? All right, next one. Let's take a look right here. Bam, just give me a second. In a momento, por favor. This broadcast is also available in Spanish. Senor. I'm just kidding. It's not. But let's take a look. Oh, this may play my audio. We may get double audio. Or maybe not. Okay. Okay, we good. We good. Ham. Sorry. I guess I should be stockpiling these. Let's look at the next one. How to quickly recognize a stroke, and the first thing you must do immediately afterwards. No, this is good. See what happens when you take the wrong probiotics. That's an interesting one. I'll probably keep that one in. It's good on, just to know for all this stuff. A simple at-home method for the flu and other respiratory issues. I could keep this one. I like the imagery and everything they have for it. See, this is an interesting landing page, and they use this style for like everything. Very long form copy, hashtag Agora, but it seems to work. Okay, where were we? What happens when you take a simple at-home method for the flu? Okay. A step-by-step approach to deal with almost every skin injury and condition. Chapter 3, Skin and Skin Appendages. You will find all you need to know to manage conditions of the skin, such as corns, my favorite, warts, athlete's foot, burns, and scalds, dermatitis, fungal infection of the nails, insect bites and stings, abscesses, ulcers, and open wounds. You'll discover why you should put egg whites on second-degree burns, what over-the-counter medications, creams to stockpile, and the exact process of cleaning, stitching, and treating an open wound at home. I hope I don't have to do that. But I'm sure it's in my future. 4 kids. Yeah, save some money. Okay. The unnoticed symptom that may point to an internal inflammation. That can work. The 1 minute stretch that relieves most back and neck pains. Can we do it? Oh, not that well. We're gonna have to work on that one before we even get relief. All natural, do it yourself antibiotics, salve, recipe to keep you around when you need it. Home doctor. Okay, that's good. How to perform a complete breast exam at home. Can't say anything about that. But I will try it on my wife later. Hopefully she's listening to that. I'm sure she'll pop in. She'll be like, fuck you, Matt. We're trying to keep this actually G-rated, so she'll say, frig you, Matt. A woman should know how to determine if there's anything wrong with your breast. The earlier you could catch something, the better. No, that's good. Honestly, with that kind of stuff, breast cancer runs in my wife's family. For her to do any kind of problem is she is a hypochondriac, so we'll see. That's why it's simple set of diagrams and instructions you can follow. You can follow to put your mind at ease. See, this is good, of course. In the same, you'd want some kind of disclaimer, like, of course, always visit a doctor if you have any kind of concerns like that, especially if it's diseases that are worse over time if not treated. Get those taken care of. Oh, fuck leeches. I used to get those at my cottage all the time. How to use leeches medically, just like folks did 100 years ago. I heard they're really good. They use them like after surgeries for just getting the blood flowing and everything, but it looks like you could use them for high blood pressure, which is interesting. Every time you have high blood pressure, just be like, take some of it out, leeches. So this is good. I could keep with this. I like all these. This stuff, like, this works really well on the direct response. And this is one of DigiStore's number one offers too. Well, top 10 offers, or even top 5. I forget exactly where it lands, but it's good. And ingenious eggshell. They really love the word ingenious. I guess it's kind of one of those phrases you could say, and it doesn't kind of break policy. Eggshell remedy and 25 others made from things people usually throw away. I'm also going to show you 25 remedies made from things you throw away. That's kind of redundant. One man's trash is another man's treasure, as they say. For example, you turn eggshells you throw away into calcium pills that will generally appreciate in times of need or when food becomes scarce. That's cool. That's actually pretty good. You can take lots of copy lessons, like even looking at stuff like the tone of voice, like who they're talking to, who their demographic is, and who are they talking to. You can tell it's a person who's going to actually buy the product itself. It's just one of those things. How to take care of toothaches and mouth infections when you can't visit a dentist. Guaranteeing salt rinse or something like that, but maybe not. Who knows? I have to buy the book. I'm actually going to buy the book because, like I said, if you're going to promote an affiliate product, buy the product. Because number 1, you can see if it works and if it's good. Number 2, make sure it's ethical too at the same time, and you can use it for creative. Like if you buy the product, you have a phone, take pictures of it, do everything you can for that. Okay, how to remove an ingrown toenail. I had issues with this growing up. It was the worst ever. Eventually, I had to go to like a specialist, and it was painful. It was probably more painful just walking around with it and just having it like get infected and cut up and everything else. And I played soccer, which was the worst. But it's an interesting one. The way that they eventually did it was kind of I can't really describe it on the stream, but they basically just made my nail smaller. They cut it, and it looked really simple in general, and the way that they did it, but we should see. Why you should always keep a stick of gum close by if your ears start to hurt. Am I thinking they're chewing it and jamming it in their ear holes? Maybe. It's really simple. When you chew the right kind of gum, you not only decrease the pressure inside the ear by continuous drum movements, but you ward off ear infections. That's because sweetener called xylitol. Yeah. I can't even read names, let alone that. Okay. How to know what's wrong if you got abdominal pain. Oh, this one's useful for me. Suffering. I'm a sufferer. You know, I'm strong male. Deals with IBS and stomach pains and bad diet choices. And our sponsor, Monster Energy. Tearing up stomachs since 2010. Get yourself some remedies for it today. We have a complete diagram, 9 sections of the abdomen. Okay, that's good. Are your migraines hiding something more serious? I hope not. I get migraines from time to time. Those are the worst. I feel for it. It's amazing after all this time. We don't have like a cure for headaches and migraines and stuff. You know, it's I know it's like different for absolutely everybody, but man, if it could even just help a little bit, who cares? You'll discover 2 types of migraines are most common and the simple but essential things you need to do to identify which one you have and how to get rid of it. Especially if it's a recurrent one, like once a month, you need to read this chapter. This could be a sign there's something you shouldn't ignore. Probably. Caffeine dependence is one of them. How to deal with injuries caused during social unrest. See, there used to be no injuries like this. Today, probably a top injury. Oh, growing. Okay. As a surgeon in Venezuela, deal with more wounds than many doctors, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, definitely good. What doctors do to keep their immunity high, you'll discover how to keep your immune system healthy. That's good. You'll learn things. Okay, the you'll learn thing. I gotta change this. Because you can't guarantee somebody will learn something. Replace this part. I can't have that. How do you salt and oil for tooth and gum decay? Oh, God, that sounds awful. You'll also discover the old mustard oil and salt remedy that people use to restore gums and remove plaques. Salt acts like a mild abrasive that helps remove stains and brighten the teeth. It also contains a natural source of fluoride, which is a bonus to your teeth. Unless you're my mom, then you're anti-fluoride, because we get it in our food. No, I didn't mind, because then at school I didn't have to do all those fluoride treatments. It was great. On the other hand, mustard oil helps strengthen your gums and make it easier to remove the plaque naturally. Yep, the 10 most sought after bartering items in Venezuela. Is toilet paper one of them? Because I know they had a shortage. Stockpile now. I should sell all these items too as an affiliate. Buy the pack. Before bed recipe to sleep like a baby again. Sleeping pills. No, you'll find out about some of the ingredients that you probably have in your kitchen right now. Which, when mixed the right way, can help you fall asleep. That works. If you're taking sleeping pills from time to time, even melatonin, you should try to replace them with this recipe instead, as a natural and completely safe. Sure. Baked turkey dinner. We'll do it every time. That's for sure. Oh, also, side note, we're only going live for an hour because I have to pick up from my kids from school, because when I don't, child protection does. Okay, 40 interesting home reliefs from our grandparents that could help you. I don't like this whole, like, put a onion in your sock thing. Like, I think those are a little bit gypsy. You'll discover 40 home remedies from our grandparents. How does doctors still use prescribe? Doctors is like, yeah, we'll prescribe you 1 onion in your sock. And put some baking powder in your ears, and you're good. For example, you can tackle some headaches using a potato, deal with bug bites using toothpaste, lower fever with vinegar, detox overnight, sleeping with half an onion in your socks. I don't believe the detox with onion thing, so I'll probably take that out. Make cough syrup from black radish and many other. The antibiotic plant. I advertise something like this, so this is fine. Whoa, what is this? Cabbage wraps for inflammation. Patrick, if you're watching right now, get that cabbage out. I know you got some on fleek right now. Just grab it. Let me know if it works. Oh, we're dying. We got headset dying right now. Did I replace the battery ahead of time? Maybe. Did I? Nope. So I can't hear you. You can't hear me. Which is fine. Wait for it. Come on. Get the paddles out. Ah, there we go. We don't have any sound anyways to listen to. Magnetic side. Bam. Cabbage leaves are great, anti-inflammatory, and contain compounds that also draw out poisons or pus from wounds and speed the healing. This isn't even a folk remedy. Dr. Maybell was taught this in medical school and confirmed in her practice later in real life. Well, you should always keep some Listerine in your medicine cabinet. I actually saw a homeless guy once drinking Listerine, and police were trying to arrest him for it. And he drank it all and threw the bottle at them. It was quite a show. I'll show you why keeping small, blah, blah, blah. It can be very good. I think I'm out of Listerine right now. Listerine was invented in 1879. It's just basically like an alcohol wash. Yeah, different types of bacterial, fungal, etc. And diabetic foot. Okay. And even all of that is just the tip of the iceberg of what you'll find inside The Home Doctor. This book is absolutely massive, with over 300 pages filled with practical tips, precise diagrams, and step-by-step instructions that may allow you to stay healthy and help others in need. With The Home Doctor, you can become a home doc yourself. Home docs are self-reliant people who take care of themselves and their families when situations demand it. That's me. That's what I wanted to achieve in this book, to empower normal people to take care of themselves, their loved ones, and even their communities when doctors and hospitals are not available anymore. If you decide to place a copy of The Home Doctor, Practical Medicine, blah, 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 on your bookshelf today, there are 2 additional gifts in store for you. And all still free of charge for to now. The first one is called Wild Edibles You Can Forage For or Find Around Your House. These are life-saving herbs that people in Venezuela ate, blah, blah, blah. See, these are digital books. I would put these in iPad, just because I've had enough trouble with that. And I talked about it during the offer reviews. So if you guys want to check out offer reviews, yeah, it goes over it. Natural Healing Secrets of Native Americans, Powerful Medicines. You'll rediscover. That's an interesting way to put it. Okay, 60-day money-back guarantee. Great. 60 days to try. I wonder if I can do the more tools. Typically, you can do it. I'm not sure on this, but you can make it so you can put it in mobile phone mode just to see how it changes, but that's fine. We'll save that for when we actually design the web page itself. I'm sure some of you are like, Matt, why? You know, if you already got working offers, why are you trying to do more? Because affiliate marketing, it's kind of like, it's like adrenaline shot, I like to call it, where basically it's the offers. Well, like, I don't expect to advertise this offer for the rest of my life. You know, there's going to be a time where the offer fatigues out, and the more offers you have going, it's like the more you mitigate life's problems and everything else when there's any kind of bannings, anything like that. Don't mind me, I'm just adjusting some stuff. All right, it's time to watch the movie. We got Geppetto ready to go. What an interesting name for a Disney character who raised a little boy. But let's play it.
Medicaid and Medicare are not entitlements, as many people like to believe. We're forced to pay into both programs throughout our working years.
Do you even talk to me,
But the fact
Geppetto?
that we did does not guarantee
okay, let's
we'll
do it
benefit from
in
them when we need it the most.
in Chrome.
That's
Maybe
because
Chrome
the
will
first
work
thing
for
to
it. So
fail
that's
during
one
hard
thing we
times
can
is the medical
fix.
system. That's
Unless,
more likely in the U.S.
is
than
it
anywhere
muted,
else in the
maybe?
world. Healthcare takes
No,
the
it's not
biggest chunk of
muted.
our federal budget. That means when the economy goes
We'll
down,
check our sound
the health
settings. Make
system will
sure
feel
we
the
are
brunt of
good
the
to
blow.
go there.
It doesn't help that here in America we usually pay 3 times more for medicine
Headset.
and medical
And now
insurance
dead set.
than anywhere else on the planet.
Come on, let's bring it
If
back,
you've got a
Geppetto.
food
So you guys can
stockpile,
have heard
big
this.
water drums, ammo, and some guns,
Oh, why'd you have to mention guns? At least he doesn't have a music background. Okay, let's see.
Medicaid and Medicare are not entitlements, as many people like to believe. We're forced to pay into both programs throughout our working years, but the fact that we did
Skip
does
this
not
part.
guarantee that we'll benefit from them when we need it the most. That's because the first thing to fail during hard times is the medical system. That's more likely in the U.S. than anywhere else in the world. Healthcare takes the biggest chunk of our federal budget. That means when the economy goes down,
Don't like
the
it
health
so far.
system will feel the brunt of the blow.
I'm not going to scare them.
It doesn't help that here in America we usually pay 3 times more for medicine and medical insurance than anywhere else
Yes, you
on the
do.
planet. If you've got
Tell
a
us,
food
Geppetto. Tell
stockpile,
us the whole
big water
thing.
drums, ammo, and some guns, but not the right medicines put aside, and you don't know how to treat common medical conditions, then you are not really prepared. In every
Oh,
recent
I
disaster,
was
it was by far
concerned
the
on that
lack of
Zoom.
proper medical care
Me?
that took the most lives. So I realized that we need to be able to take care of our own health when things go bad. Hi, my name is Claude Davis. You may know me from my
This is
website,
Claude Davis?
asktheprepper.com, or from one of my survival books, or you may have heard my warnings in the media. Regardless if you already know me or not, today I want to show you how you can manage the most common health problems at home while at the very same time cutting down on your medical costs. I'll also reveal what you need to treat yourself and your loved ones during hard times.
Yes, we
The
do.
medical
And I'm
system
coming
cannot
with
be
you.
depended on anymore. It basically all boils down to three extremely counterintuitive things that you'll need to know well before the pharmacies run dry and hospitals become unavailable. Each one is important, but the third one is absolutely astonishing. I would have never guessed how effective it is. Sit back and listen, as this video may save your life one day. I recently got in touch with a frontline doctor working in Venezuela, a place that has been dealing with economic trouble and shortages for years and has yet to recover. The truth is, if you want to see what happens during hard times, all you have to do is look at
Let me cut
Venezuela.
it at that point.
No electricity, no running water, no law, no antibiotics,
Yep.
no painkillers, no anesthetics,
Don't
no
like those
insulin,
images, but okay.
no nothing. But if you want to find out how you can still manage in a desperate situation like this, you must look at Venezuela and learn from the handful of people who cope, despite widespread shortages of every kind. Dr. Maybell
Breathing
is one
creeps
of
me
them.
out.
She's
Not that
working as
mine
a
isn't
surgeon
bad.
at Caracas University Hospital and has been ever since the economic and then medical crisis began. One of the first things Maybell explained to me is something you must realize before it's too late. And that is, once medical shortages run rampant, going to a hospital can be a very bad idea. In the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, a lot of people were left without a home, food, electricity, or running water. But some still had all these things because they had prepared for such an event. My friend Tom was one of them. He had at least 3 months' worth of food and water and a brand new generator that could power his entire
What?
home.
What if it's
Because
underwater?
Tom thought he had everything he needed at home, and because his house was on high ground, he decided to
Oh,
stay and weather
cheers.
out the storm. During the hurricane, a small wooden splinter flew inside through a broken window and pierced his hand. It was just a tiny wound. It wasn't really deep, and he thought he could manage it at home. He bandaged the
Tom's
wound
dead
with what
now.
he still had in his first aid kit and went to sleep that night. A few days later, he woke up in a cold sweat. His finger was pulsating, and he could tell an infection was taking hold. What you want to do in this kind of situation, other than disinfecting the wound, is to immediately take some antibiotics. Unfortunately, Tom didn't have any stockpiled because, as you know, they require a prescription. In a minute, I'll show you a way around that, but which people in Venezuela discovered after they ran out of antibiotics.
Please don't
Over the
use
next
fish
couple of days,
antibiotics.
Tom's situation went from bad to worse. He began to run a constant high fever, and he barely had the energy to crawl out of bed. Every time he called 911 to ask for an ambulance, he always got a busy tone probably because the hospitals in the area had lost power and were already overcrowded with hundreds of sick and injured people. The roads were also not accessible yet by car. By the time my friend reached a hospital, his
He was
hand
dead.
had swollen to the size of a football,
Ooh.
and he was in great pain. As he desperately tried to get to the front of the line, he almost fainted a few times and had to be propped up by others. Tom told me he was one of the lucky ones who managed to see a doctor before it was too late. The doctor examined his hand and prescribed some antibiotics. Things were on the mend, but then an unforeseen problem came up. Overcrowded hospitals with lackluster sanitation and hygiene are the perfect breeding environments for germs. Tom's already weakened body picked up another, more aggressive bacteria that didn't respond to the usual treatment. I know firsthand that in the U.S., hospital administrators are pulling their hair out, wondering how to reduce hospital-acquired infections. The rate can be alarmingly high. In a crisis, you might have a much
too
better
much fear
chance
on
of
this
picking up
one.
an infection in a hospital
I gotta
than if
change
the doctor
some of
performed
this
the
video.
procedure in your own
I
bedroom.
may keep it.
At least at home, you have germs that you've developed an immunity
I don't
against,
want to get
and they're
banned.
usually not
I don't
resistant
want you
to
to
every
get banned.
antibiotic known to man. After lying in a hospital bed for weeks on end, pumped full of intravenous antibiotics, Tom finally began to recover. The doctors were able to save his life. Others were not so fortunate, and despite what the media and government would have you believe, the greatest number of casualties
Oh, gotta
after
rip on the
Katrina
media and government.
were not
Any
caused by the
chance?
flooding itself,
Any
but by
chance
the
you get?
infections in the medical crisis that followed. That's why every person should have some antibiotics stockpiled at home. In a crisis, it may be too late to find out what
I'd
you
love to
really
have some
need,
antibiotics stocked at
or
home, but I
doing
also
so
don't
may
want to
put
have
you in harm's way.
drugs that I shouldn't. But
If Tom would have had just a few antibiotics at
Tell me.
home, he would have never
Tell
had
me,
to
how do
leave
you
his
fix it?
house. How do you stockpile enough life-saving antibiotics without a prescription? When there were
Just
no
do what
more
I tell you.
antibiotics in hospitals and pharmacies across Venezuela, doctors there discovered fish and bird antibiotics could be used to treat their patients.
Who
Believe
called
it or
it?
not, they have the same
Who's
active
King Prep
substances
right
found
now?
in human antibiotics.
Fish antibiotics.
Every capsule of fish mox, for example, contains nothing but
Oh,
250
I told
milligrams
ya.
of amoxicillin, the same substance found in amoxicillin
man.
capsules for humans. A substance is a substance after all. Most
Substance is a
importantly,
substance.
they don't require a prescription.
I called the
You can order a
fish.
month's supply for just $10 online
Rewind it.
from a pet store almost anywhere in America. Plus, you can stockpile as many of them as you please because they keep good
Man,
for
why did I already
years.
know this?
If one day your life or the life of someone you love were to depend on
So
it,
yeah, the issue with
how would
this
you
video.
feel knowing you could still have this ace in the hole? Of course, you should always take human antibiotics if they're still available and only after consulting a doctor. I also don't advise taking antibiotics for every minor problem. I've probably only used them 4 or 5 times in my life.
Wow,
Now,
that's
I
amazing.
suspect
He's
that
like
you,
300
like many
years
other
old.
people, have a small
kidding.
medicine cabinet at home. Maybe it's not fully stocked, but at least you have some painkillers, an anti-inflammatory,
Yep.
or some
No,
other
actually.
medication
Yeah,
you
I
need
do.
in there. Just imagine that's all
the good
gone
stuff.
tomorrow and you can't buy anymore. What will you do? My guess is that
Let
sooner
it
or later,
burn, Geppetto.
you'll
Let
do
it
what they did in
burn.
Venezuela. You will turn to the medicinal plants growing in your backyard or in a nearby forest or
Plantain,
park. They
aloe,
have so much more to offer than
willow.
you might think,
We know
but
this.
it isn't
I'm a
until
herbal
people
remedy
run
master.
almost out of medicine completely that they
How
realize
far are we
that.
in this?
If you don't know this
This is
already,
a long
many of the
VSL.
medicines on the market today are still derived from substances found in common plants.
Aspirin is made from the bark of the willow tree, and with the right knowledge, you can extract it yourself to lower a fever or fight pain and inflammation. The flu medicine known as Tamiflu is derived from a plant called the
Tamiflu.
star anise. About
Star
90%
anise?
of the world's star anise crop is used to make Tamiflu.
Yeah.
An alkaloid from this tree was discovered to be effective against malaria and light cramps. Today we call it the drug quinine.
Do you have malaria? Do you have
You
light
find
cramps?
it at the retail price of $218 at Walgreens.
Whoa.
And this fungus contains a powerful immunosuppressive substance that can ameliorate symptoms of multiple sclerosis and other autoimmune conditions. The
Ooh.
derived drug today is called Gilenya, and 30 capsules will set you back around $9,000. And the list
Wow.
goes on and on. And
He's so happy
that's why
about
even
that.
today,
$9,000.
one of the most
Guess
expensive
what?
things that you can buy on the black market in Venezuela is not food or guns, but medicinal plants.
Oh.
In America, these wild plants are still widely available, so my advice is to
Grow
forage
your own.
or buy the ones that you need and won't be able to find at the pharmacy anymore. Still, the greatest problem that you'll face in a crisis
Did I get mail?
will be the absence of doctors and other medical experts. So
Waiting
chances
for me
are, during dark times,
Earmuff things.
you probably need to
Earpads.
take your health into your own hands.
I shaved for this stream.
As the economic
Did a pretty
collapse
good job,
worsened in
according to my
Venezuela, so did
camera.
the medical situation. Many were left waiting in line for hours on end to see an overworked doctor who had almost nothing left
Wow,
to treat
this
them
is
with.
long.
Similar things happened after Katrina ravaged New Orleans, and people died needlessly in hospital hallways,
Pause.
waiting for someone to
Geppetto,
give them a
pause it
time
out.
of day.
Pause it out. Okay, why is there some issues with stuff? Like, you do have to worry about certain things they talk about, and there's a reason for it. What happens is... Oh, that's a weird virtual interface to put as my default. Sorry, 1 second. yeah, so what basically happens and what is an issue is like, say like during Hurricane Katrina, they're going to ban people who are trying to take advantage of that situation. You know, people talking about it during the magical thing that everybody coughed that, yeah, that cough that made them cough. You can't really talk about that. If you mention that, if you mention words, there's AI enforcement. Not, it's not really AI. It's machine learning enforcement of certain words that you say, and you have to be really careful not to say them. Like, of course, Hurricane Katrina happened a very, very long time ago. But the question is, and you must ask yourself, and I must ask you, is have they deleted that? Have they got rid of it? Are we no longer allowed to talk about that? Because you know how I'm sure lots of you have made comments on Facebook, etc., and you get your account like, blah, you can't say that. It's like a similar situation with that. So I like to be careful of like big events that happen like that and certain trigger words where you know that like there's going to be words they're looking for. Like let's say for example, you know, like a Homeland Security is looking for certain bad people. There's going to be phrases that they're kind of automatically looking for. It's like where if you hear that phrase, you know, maybe some criminal's name, yeah, it's automatically going to be like, you know, put them on the bad list. But with Facebook, yeah, you don't have a way of getting around that. So just be careful for stuff like that, and that's the stuff that I like to be careful with in general. Just because of the fact that yeah, you know, you don't want to get triggered on any of those those terms, because that could be, it could be bad for you. So that's why I look at some of these and I'm like let's see. Sorry, I'm just changing my mouse speed because it keeps automatically changing on me. Oh god, I just set my mouse speed so low. There we go. There you go. Now you can't mess with this. The same. 850. Okay, whatever you say. Anyways, back to the video. Bam.
What people really need and what could save families like yours and mine in the next crisis are a few inexpensive but carefully selected medical supplies and the right knowledge to use them. The truth is, you don't need to see a doctor or be a doctor yourself to take care of most common health problems.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the simple ones, not performing brain surgery. So wouldn't you want an expert to guide you on the right path, to tell you exactly what to keep in your medicine cabinet, and to teach you a few simple do-it-yourself methods to take care of your own health at home? I hope the answer is yes, because that's what I can do for you today.
Let me get out of the way for a sec.
I've come to believe that in dark times, most people will not have access to a hospital while infection rates soar. You won't be able to buy medicines at the pharmacy, and they won't be able to consult a doctor when they need to.
Maybe you will.
With Dr. Maybell's invaluable help, I was able to determine exactly what medicines and medical supplies a person has to keep at home to help themselves and their loved ones in times of need, and the minor but life-saving procedures that can be performed safely without ever having to set foot outside your front door. I asked Maybell to write everything down in a guide so that anyone can take advantage of these bits of knowledge when they're needed the most. It's called The Home Doctor, Practical Medicine for
300 pages.
You can use it whenever hospitals become overwhelmed and dangerous.
Yes, you can.
Or to help yourself or a loved one while awaiting an ambulance to arrive. Inside, you'll also discover the medicinal plants that you can use, as well as the medical supplies, Western medicines, and do-it-yourself procedures that you need to keep by your side. So I hope that you'll be wise enough to take advantage of everything we've painstakingly saved for you, from the practical day-to-day medical experience of a frontline doctor working in a collapsed medical system and country. Let me show you just some of the things you'll find inside the Home Doctor. One of the first things you'll discover is which 10 medical supplies you need to stock up on before it's too late. These are not expensive and should still be available, but they tend to run out fast. In case you haven't realized it yet, most of the medical supplies and pills
we take for granted come from China and India. When things go bad, that supply chain will stop working, and you'll be left with only what you have on hand after the pharmacies run dry. One of the 10 vital supplies you need in your house is a painkiller called naproxen, which is over-the-counter and a lot more powerful than ibuprofen, for example. In Venezuela, electricity has turned into a rare and unpredictable commodity.
Well, that's a sweet Photoshop.
They don't have it all the time,
Actually, it wasn't
and
that
blackouts
good.
become a normal part of daily life.
Could be a better effect.
If you're preparing for the worst-case scenario,
Pete, how's it
then you must
going?
expect frequent
Sorry, I'm just launching a new offer right now. We got the home doctor. Doctor! You know, it's a good one. We're listening to Geppetto right now from Pinocchio.
blackouts.
Talk about it.
Inside the Home Doctor, you'll also learn about the biggest medical mistakes that you can make in a blackout, and what to do with
Yeah, that's an
important
okay policy
medications
one.
that
We can get away with
require
that.
refrigeration, like insulin or Humira. Do you know how to recognize if you or
I'm learning how to be a
someone
home
you love is
doctor because
having a
my
heart
4
attack?
kids just hurt themselves
There are
all
many
the time.
conditions that mimic it.
Not sure if you've
So
had to
how
do
do you
any
really
ER trips
determine
yet,
if
but I've had
you're
my
having
fair
a
share.
life-threatening cardiac event?
Not just giving birth.
Look at its 4 distinctive symptoms. First, chest discomfort that feels like uncomfortable pressure, squeezing, fullness,
Man,
and
this is
pain
a
in the middle
long
of your chest
VSO.
that lasts for
I'm
more than a few
impressed.
minutes. The
Sorry,
second
kids, I'm
symptom
late
is
for picking you up
discomfort
from
or
school because I was
pain
watching
in
a
one or both
VSL.
arms, in your back, your neck, jaw, or stomach. The third symptom is shortness of breath. The last thing you need to watch out for is breaking out in a cold sweat, nausea, and lightheadedness.
Oh, I do this
These
all
don't
the time.
all come at once, but if you see even 1 or 2, it's time to call 911. Another step you can take to improve your chances before the ambulance arrives
Aspirin, you're supposed
is
to
to
always
chew
have
on an
aspirin on
aspirin
hand.
and pour a
I have
vial of
some back
nitroglycerin onto your tongue.
I keep
But you
some in
need
my
to
fanny
have these
pack.
2 items at home
No, I don't wear a
beforehand.
fanny pack.
No country in the world has had to use more expired medication than Venezuela. Dr. Maybell and other doctors were able to see what happens firsthand.
See, this is so
And it's
long,
almost
you almost wonder if
guaranteed to shock you
Facebook
to the
policy
core.
watches this.
Most medications
You know, they
have
hit
in your
play and
medicine
they're like,
cabinet
oh,
are good for
man.
years after their bogus expiration dates. So pay
Bogus
close
expiration
attention
dates,
to
that's
this
a big
chapter
term.
before you throw away your so-called expired medications.
I have medication for when I was a
As one day
baby.
you might need it
No,
badly.
I don't.
You'll also learn about the only form
But yeah,
of
this
antibiotics
VSL,
you should stockpile at home.
I gotta
how to
just
get them
cut it up.
legally
I want
without
to
a
try a
prescription.
short form version of it. It
They
does work
contain
for the older
distinctive
audience.
substances that
You know,
act very
listen to
differently.
Geppetto go on.
So while it could happen that you stumble upon a bacteria that is
That
resistant to one of
vest,
them,
though.
the chance it can withstand
Damn,
all 4
is
is
that
very,
Gucci?
very slim. Antibiotics
Could
will
be.
become priceless in times of need once they become scarce. Having them at home for you and your family is at least as important as having food stockpiles. Another thing you'll discover is the best natural painkiller.
He's basically
grows
just
in
reading
your
the
own
landing
backyard.
page at this point.
This is the pain-killing plant that many in Venezuela turned
think
to
it's
after they
plantain.
couldn't find relief at the pharmacy
Or like
anymore.
it's either
grows
plantain
all
or like
over
a
North America
dandelion
as well.
style, or
You'll also
I don't
learn how
know.
to deal with
I gotta get
shortages
the
of
book.
medicine such as
the book's on
insulin,
its way.
which some people need to take every day. A friend of mine from
I
Texas
take insulin every
found a
minute.
workaround.
No.
Is able to get all the insulin he needs daily and even extra to stockpile.
Sounds like
His
a
ingenious
steroid
method
user.
is completely legal and safe. You could start using it immediately, not only for insulin, but also for some other medicines that are notoriously hard
Growth
to
hormone,
stockpile.
testosterone.
When
you know,
dealing
all
with
the
a
good
stroke,
stuff.
Time is of the essence, and every second counts. If you act quickly, most of
You
the
gotta be
time,
kidding.
your body
Maybe it
can
needs all
recover
this
completely.
medication to stockpile it up.
Alternatively, many people end up partially paralyzed or even worse. Inside the Home Doctor, you'll also learn the fastest way you can
It's like a
recognize it.
random sound at you.
The one thing
there.
you must do immediately to improve your chances.
Heck yeah.
You'll also find out how to make your own batch of anesthetic to use whenever a painful procedure is necessary. All the
That's a
ingredients
little
can
harsh.
be
I
ordered
don't wanna-
online without a prescription.
I don't want to promote
Be
that
sure
one.
you produce enough, as this
Your own
stuff
anesthetic?
tends to run out when things go south.
Put it in
And
the
not to
fridge.
mention
Just the
that other
kids are all
people
just
who are
passed out
paying
by the
will be willing to
refrigerator.
trade an arm and a leg for it.
That would be good.
I'll also show you the only probiotics you need to keep in your medicine cabinet. The truth is, most probiotics today are next to useless, and some are even harmful.
Whoa.
Probiotics
See,
are
that's a
basically
big statement on
microorganisms
probiotics.
that live inside your gut and influence your metabolism
I
and
have
overall
probiotic
health.
pills. I take them from
They
time
can
to
even
time.
trigger allergies. Their effects are so widespread that you don't want to take the wrong probiotics and
No, you don't.
risk messing up your gut flora even more. I personally know people who gained a lot of weight taking bad probiotics.
So that was
A
what
good
did it.
probiotic, on the other hand,
It wasn't the
make all the
McDonald's,
difference.
wasn't the Pizza Hut,
It will improve your
wasn't the
digestion,
Taco Bell.
help you get rid of
Those
gas,
damn
absorb the
probiotic
maximum
pills.
amount of good nutrients from the food you eat, and take care
Have
of
to get
both
rid of- I need
diarrhea
that gas one
and
lately.
constipation. During the flu
bad.
season, a
It's
lot
real
of
bad.
people end up in the hospital with a high fever, coughing their lungs out. So one of the things I want to give you is
Wow.
a simple protocol to deal with
Buddy,
it at home.
you got 10 minutes
If
left,
going
and I
to a
gotta get my
hospital is off
kids.
the
Come on,
table,
Geppetto,
You
wrap it
just
up.
don't want to go to a doctor for a simple flu. You'll discover how
I
you
may
can
even
make
just
your
try
own
to
cast
run
at
this
home.
landing page
If you break a leg or arm, you'll need to keep it immobilized for a
Maybe.
few weeks to allow the
and
bones
put it
to
against
fuse
like my
back.
version,
This is the best
my
way to
palsy
do it.
friendly, just to see what the true
In
difference
Chapter
is.
3,
Just to see,
Skin and
because
Skin
like
Appendages,
if you're not
you'll
testing,
find out
then you're
all you
not
need to know
advertising
to manage
properly. Like
conditions
you
of the
always have to
skin,
be testing.
such as
Even when I
corns,
make my own
warts,
landing
athlete's foot,
pages,
burns and
I
scalds,
still test it
dermatitis,
against the original
fungal
landing
infections of the
page because you
nails,
know what? Maybe it's
insect bites and
there's
stings,
always a
abscesses,
case when it's
ulcers,
different.
or
There's
open
no like
wounds.
one
You
box
name
that
it.
you can put everything
You'll also
in.
discover why
Never
you
works
should
that
put
way.
egg
Some
whites on
accounts operate
second-degree
different,
burns,
some
put
ads,
over-the-counter
etc.
medicines and creams
Try
to
everything.
stockpile for your skin, and the exact process of cleaning, stitching, and treating an open wound at home.
Jeez, I ain't
Also
doing
learn
that.
about the little-known body
I guess
signs
if I have to.
that tell you if you have hidden inflammation inside your
I
body.
don't have hidden
At this
inflammation.
very
It's
moment.
there.
You'll
Oh,
find out how I deal with my
sure, it
back
has
problems.
nothing to do with this.
Until I found this 1-minute stretch routine, I often woke up
Sponsored by
like a
Monster.
hunchback, could barely walk to the bathroom. And it usually took me several hours to become functional again.
That's why I wear
If
adult
this sounds
diapers.
at all familiar to
No,
you,
I'm kidding.
you should learn this simple move. You'll find out how to brew your own batch of Neosporin. An antibiotic ointment is nice to have. And besides
Neosporin?
stockpiling some from the
That
pharmacy,
stuff's
you
expensive.
should consider
I
this
lost
option as
mine.
well. Not to mention, it's a lot
It's
cheaper.
somewhere. I think it's in my
probably just
camping
as
kit.
effective. The recipe found inside the Home Doctor is packed with anti-germ properties, which will aid in keeping a wound from becoming
Man, this
infected
is long.
and help reduce scarring.
See, another
As a
reason
woman,
why
after a certain age, you
Whoa.
should definitely know how to.
another reason why I like to host my own videos and make my own landing page is I can actually see the viewership of these videos and see like where the drop off is and everything else. Because maybe he says something that's just losing users where they're like, "Get out of here, Geppetto. You don't know what you're talking about." It's definitely a possibility. So, yeah, hosting my own will have an advantage. Like I said, I'll test all 3, all 4, all 5, however many it takes, in the name of making money
Determine
for
if
buying
there's anything wrong with
antibiotics.
your breast. With breast pathologies, the earlier you catch wind of something, the better your odds become.
Yes.
You'll find out a simple set of diagrams and instructions that you can follow to put your mind at ease or go see a doctor in due time. Dr. Maybell perfected this method while working for 2 years at the
Okay, we're just
prestigious
about at the
European
bottom of the
Institute of
landing
Oncology
page.
in Milan,
Oh, what?
Italy.
The video doesn't
And
follow?
you'll
Come on
also
now.
learn how to pop a shoulder, hip, finger, or some other joint back into place. These types
Okay.
of accidents tend
We
to
got a
happen
couple
more
more
and
to
more
go.
after a certain age.
Oh, God, no.
Have you ever heard of using
We're not going
leeches
to
as
make it, are
medicine?
we?
They are an extremely effective
we're
and
on
easy-to-use
leeches.
remedy for preventing a wound from
What time do we got to leave?
and speeding up healing.
Like 2:15.
As long as you're not squeamish, that is.
We got 13 minutes. Come on,
Another
wrap
thing
it
they're
up.
good for is
Give me that
high
ultimate
blood
call to
pressure.
action.
Because they decrease the amount of
Oh,
blood
it's so
flow
sunny
and they
today.
also lower the stress in your arteries.
It's a nuclear
You'll also
blast.
find out 25 remedies made from things you usually throw away. One man's trash is another man's treasure, as they say. For
Who
example,
say?
you can turn the eggshells you throw away
Here we
into
go.
calcium
Eggshells.
pills
Yep.
that will be greatly appreciated in times of need.
I always just
where
do
food
a really
becomes
bad
scarce.
job cracking eggs. That's how I get
Ever
my
had a
calcium.
really bad toothache that just wouldn't go away?
Oh, we're on
A
toothache.
dental infection can become quickly very dangerous, so you want to know how to take care of it the right way.
Yes, you do.
Maybell recently went through something similar during the lockdown. She had a very
Yes,
painful
we
tooth
do.
abscess,
And I'm coming with
and
you.
because the dental clinics were closed, she had to become her own dentist. The full details of the procedure and the anesthetic she used, and that you should stockpile, are inside the Home Doctor.
Don't be
You'll
ridiculous.
also find out the only way to tell if your arrhythmia is benign or dangerous. Some changes in heart rate and rhythm are normal during sleep and physical activity and moments of stress. But other times,
Wow.
an irregular heart rhythm or arrhythmia may be a serious problem which, left untreated,
I love how they have
could lead to
heart
cardiac
attack
arrest or
clip
stroke.
videos. You know, like
The
you
way
can just
decide
get
if
like
it's time to
video
call
blocks of
911
of
is by
people
looking
having
at
heart
the
attacks. There's
symptoms
probably like
of
thousands
dangerous
of them where
arrhythmias,
actors are like,
which never appear for milder versions.
and
These are shortness of breath, dizziness,
their families
lightheadedness,
running at them.
near fainting or fainting,
No.
and mild chest pain.
Yep.
If you feel your heart beating too fast or too slow, and also experience
And sip
at least
more
a
energy
few of
drinks.
these symptoms, call an ambulance immediately.
What?
You'll also discover how to remove an ingrown nail yourself. In a situation where medical help is hard to come by, an ingrown
Yep.
nail can be a serious infection if you don't remove it. Strangely enough, it's even worse if you remove it the wrong way and don't properly bandage and sterilize the area afterward. That's why if you get this in this situation, it would be nice to have the home doctor around to guide you
Yeah.
along the way. Do you know why you should always keep chewing gum close by in case your ears start to hurt? It's simple, really.
Tell me, Doc.
When you chew the right kind of gum,
Oh, he's not a
you
doctor.
not only decrease pressure
doesn't claim
inside
to.
the ear
This
by
is Claude
continuous
Davis,
jaw movements,
which I know for a fact is
also
a pen
ward
name.
off
I know the
ear
real Claude
infections.
Davis.
that's because
Wicca,
of a
Wicca,
sweetener
Claude
called
Davis.
xylitol. You'll also discover what to do if you're experiencing pain in your abdomen. It's called an abdominal evaluation, and you've probably undergone it before when going to a doctor for a checkup. Inside the home doctor, you'll have a complete diagram with 9 sections of the abdomen that upon palpation
How much
should
is it,
reveal
Geppetto?
exactly what the problem really is and how to get
3,333
solved.
and 1/3.
You'll also discover which 2 types of migraines are most
See,
common.
getting the books
and
too,
the
so you
simple
can
but
just take
essential
those
things
pictures.
you need to do to identify which
Or
one
you just take
have,
the picture and then
and
use
how to
the
get rid of
media
it.
program to scroll it.
Especially if it's a recurrent one, like once a month. You need to read this chapter. This could also be a sign of something more serious.
Oh,
You'll
no.
also discover exactly how to deal with gunshot, stab, or other typical
You
wounds
can't really put
caused
that
by
in.
violent
When you say
protesters or
gunshot,
rioters. As you likely know, Venezuela has had lots of them in the past few years, and our country
Just
is
do
no
what I tell
stranger
you.
to such events either. And don't forget, we don't know what the
you
future
guys don't even
holds.
know the amount of Arnold drops
As
I
a
have.
surgeon, Maybelle worked a lot of ER shifts, and there's probably not an injury she hasn't seen. By learning how to deal with them when there are no hospitals available, you can take care of yourself and your family in times of need.
Let's see.
You'll also discover how to keep your immune system healthy. I'm not talking about the run-of-the-mill things that you find on the internet. I am talking about the things that doctors do to keep their immunity high after they come in close contact with sick people. Things that you can also do at home.
Oh,
to
God,
protect
someone
your
mentioned
family.
me in their story.
You'll find
Well,
out the old mustard oil and salt remedy that is used to restore gums and remove plaque from your teeth. Salt acts as a mild abrasive that helps remove stains and brighten teeth. It also contains a natural source of fluoride, which is a bonus for your teeth and gums. On the other hand, mustard oil helps strengthen your gums and make it easier to remove the plaque. So instead of spending a fortune on dental implants, why not use this method and others to preserve and strengthen your gums and teeth? You'll also discover 10 non-medical items that you must stockpile for darker times. A few months after Venezuela's economy collapsed, these 10 items became more precious than gold, and they could be traded for almost anything you needed, including
Well,
medicine.
everything's more precious than gold
Unfortunately for
during like an
Maybelle,
emergency.
she had
If you're
only
like,
2
here,
of the
take this
10.
gold bar, and they're
So she
dying
didn't
of
fare as
thirst.
well as you might if
They're like,
you
can
get
we
them all
drink it? And
today.
you're like,
Don't worry.
yeah.
They are not at all
I'll put
expensive
it in this can of
when
Monster.
society is still functioning. You'll also find out about some of the
Here's my
ingredients
check.
that you have in your kitchen right now, which, when mixed the right way, can help you sleep like a baby again, even if you're dealing with an enormous amount of stress and anxiety. If you're taking sleeping pills from time to time, even melatonin, you should try to replace them with this recipe instead, as it's natural and completely safe. You'll also rediscover 40 bizarre home remedies our grandparents taught us that actually work and
I
doctors use
hate
or
it when you're
prescribe.
drunk.
These have once again become very popular, very important for people who have no
Hate
option
it when
left
you're drunk.
but to treat themselves at home. For example, you
Well,
can
this is
tackle
all
most
like-
headaches
This
using
is
a
the
potato,
perfect example of
deal
gray
with bug
area.
bites using toothpaste,
Perfect
or fever
example
with
of gray
vinegar and
area
socks,
because he uses some stuff
make
where I'm
cough
like,
syrup from
oh,
black
you
radish,
shouldn't use
and
that.
many
That
others.
puts you into the gray,
You'll
but it's
also
not
learn
completely
how to
like
use a
into the
two-pronged
banning
approach
territory.
to help resolve
where you
pink
can
eye
see, like,
and other
okay,
bacterial eye infections.
this can make
Did you
it
know that
through.
there
This
is a
is
sort
being
of
advertised.
natural
This is a top
doxycycline
offer.
to be found
So
as
you
close as
can
your own
can
backyard?
use it, But
The
all
plant
it
is
takes
called
is a
Usnea,
manual review of
and
somebody
it's
who's just a
popularly known as
dickhead,
old man's
and they're
beard.
like, this
This
guy's
wild
making
plant
money.
grows all
Click,
over
you're
North
dead.
America, and once
You
you
know?
gather some, you'll find out how to turn it into an
And you don't want
antibiotic
that. You
tincture
don't want that at all.
to greatly increase its potency and shelf life. Another thing you'll discover is how to make your own cabbage bandages.
Listen to
Cabbage
this one,
leaves are
Pat.
great and anti-inflammatory
See?
and
Wrap
contain
your knees with
compounds that
those.
also draw out
You should be
poison or
cabbage
pus
man
from a
during
wound and
paintball.
speed
Just
up the
wrap
healing.
up your whole leg, your
This isn't
ankles,
even
and
a folk
everything.
remedy.
Just pure cabbage legs
Maybelle was
just
taught
running.
this in medical
It'd be like
school and
armor.
confirmed it in her practice later on in life.
You'll also learn by keeping a small stockpile of Listerine in your medicine cabinet.
See the American
Can be a
flag
very
in the
good idea.
background?
In the hospitals of
Um,
Venezuela,
It works,
they
you
used a lot
know?
of Listerine
It's
for
the
various
whole-
types of bacterial and
It's a
fungal
whole being
infections.
likable and finding stuff where you have common ground with. It's with everything in your imagery, and that's why the images that work best aren't ads. They're not ads. They're you doing stuff that's like going to an event, and people are like, "Oh, here's that Super Bowl. I love Super Bowl. I'd want to do that." Or if he's golfing, it's like, "Oh, he's golfing. I love golfing." Instant rapport, and it's like, "Oh, he's a patriotic." Geppetto, you're my man. You know, I trust you, and especially the people who are kind of for this book. They're like, this book is tailored. So this is like Rob Dyrdek, perfectly talked about this of like, you know, you can sell skateboards and you're just going to have people that ride skateboards that buy them. Or you could sell skateboarding shoes. And yeah, your core audience may be skateboarders, but you can sell to everybody. You can sell to absolutely everybody in it. So even though it's a niche product, it's not a niche product that only the niche can buy. It's an entire, like everybody can buy it. And that's why he was so successful. If you haven't listened to his podcast yet on building businesses, next level. Probably one of the best podcasts I watch right now. My top would probably be that one, All In Podcast. Such a good one. And then just ones that I watch for entertainment with no... Or Roman Atwood has a good podcast right now too. So yeah, top 3 in this order. Rob Dyrdek, All In Podcast, Roman Atwood. Watch those. So good.
Wounds, gangrene, and diabetic foot with satisfactory results, according to Maybelle. And even all of that is just the
Give me a
tip
call
of the
to
iceberg
action.
of what you'll find inside the home.
I gotta
doctor.
leave.
This book is absolutely massive with over 300 pages filled
It
with
may help
practical
too. What you
tips,
can do
precise
during this
diagrams,
is you can have it so after a
step-by-step
certain amount of
procedures
time of watching
that will
this,
allow you
you'll
to
have
stay
a
healthy and
call to
help others
action. Follow
while
because
society
maybe
crumbles.
at this point the people are
The
like,
medical system
I want to
can be put
buy,
under enormous
you know,
strain
and they'll
even
start
when things
to.
are
You
still
could actually
somewhat
unsell them
normal.
over this process.
An
So if you
unforeseen
could have
event will
something that
always
just
push it
goes,
over the
look at
edge.
this. It says split
You'll
test
be
home
left in
doctor
the
too.
back of a huge
I'd love to
line
find.
see a
I'm gonna
doctor
find this
while
one.
you're hurting or in need of urgent medical
I'm after it
assistance.
now. You know what you guys just did?
With the home doctor, you
Yeah,
could
let's take
become
a
a
look.
home doc yourself. Home docs are self-reliant people who take care of themselves and their families.
Yeah, try to
when the
block my right
situation
click.
demands
I
it.
don't care.
That's what I
find
wanted
it.
to achieve
I'll
with this
find
book,
it.
to empower normal people with no previous medical
Damn.
experience to take care of themselves, their loved ones, and even their communities when
It's
doctors
somewhere
and
in here.
hospitals are not an
You
option
bugger.
anymore.
Somewhere in
If you
there.
decide to place a copy
Getting
of the Home
closer.
Doctor, Practical Medicine
Getting
for Every
closer.
Household on your bookshelf today,
Getting.
there are 2 additional gifts in
Oh,
store
no,
for
not
you,
that.
all still free of charge for now. The first
Oh.
one is called Wild Edibles You Can
Closer.
Forage For.
You
or
can't
find
hide it
around
in
your
multiple
house.
divs. I ain't
These are
scared.
the life-saving herbs that people of Venezuela ate when they
Oh,
couldn't
here we
afford
go.
to buy
Here's the
food
embed.
from the market anymore. These plants grow all over North America. I bet they're also found around your house. With this bonus, you'll be able to identify your own 24/7
Wistia?
backyard supermarket.
Wistia, you can't stop
The
me.
best part is few people in the U.S.
Here's
know
the
about
video
these
code right
plants and
here.
how nutritious they really
Give me
are.
embed.
So you won't have to
Next.
deal with a lot of competition
Document.
while
I can show
foraging
you
for
guys
them.
how to rip off videos
You'll also
so
receive
quickly.
a second gift
Blow your
called
bloody mind.
Natural Healing Secrets of Native Americans. In this one, you'll rediscover the powerful natural medicines
You'll
that
rediscover.
natives relied
Not
on
you'll
well
discover.
before the
You
dawn
can't
of
say
modern
you'll
medicine.
discover because maybe some people
In a
won't
medical
discover
collapse, they will be worth
You'll
their weight in
rediscover.
gold.
You could say that.
With
They're
this,
like,
you'll never
oh,
be
they
short
broke
of
the
medicine,
system.
no matter what
We
happens.
can't
and
ban you.
you'll always have a way left to help yourself or a loved one in need. The plants they used are still abundant in America.
I'll get rid of the highlight.
All you need to know is how to
Sorry, I
properly
was just
identify
video
them
hunting.
and turn them into
They make it
tinctures,
look like it's
salves,
YouTube.
poultices,
But it ain't.
decoctions,
Look how your cursor
elixirs,
changes in
and many
this.
other remedies
Can you
that
believe
the
that?
natives used with great
Let's see what you
success
did
for
there.
hundreds of years.
It just means
As I
I can
promised,
search
if
this
you
on
choose to
YouTube
get
and
the
I'll
Home
find this
Doctor
video.
today,
I will
you'll
find
also
you.
get these 2 exclusive bonuses that are worth at least $29 each for free, and unlimited access
Okay.
to the members
FTC
area.
rule that you have to be careful of. If you've never sold the product for that amount before, if you've never had that sale, you can't say it's worth that. So you know how all these people just pile in value, like $10 trillion worth of value in this free thing. No, if I haven't ever sold it for that, FTC is gonna get me. You can't say that.
You
Facts.
can ask me or Dr. Maybell anything at any time. We'll
I
be
could
there
ask
to
him
answer your
anything at
questions
any time.
and to help you if you need any clarification on anything inside the book. The best part is that you don't need to
Sorry for all
wait
the
for the
yawns.
collapse of
I
modern
didn't get sleep last
healthcare
night though.
to make good use of your book. The medical
Crack.
self-reliance found inside will probably end up saving you hundreds,
Oh,
if
my
not
eyes are all
thousands of
glossy today.
dollars
I don't
over
even
the
smoke
next few
weed.
years. With that in mind, let me
Lots of
ask you,
cigars though.
how much do you think the Home
And high blood
Doctor is
pressure
worth?
from energy drinks, but
How do you put a price on your health or
that's
the
what I
health
gotta
of
say to
someone you
that.
love? Some pharmaceutical companies sell their drugs for outrageous sums of money,
They do.
sometimes thousands of dollars,
See,
just
I should be
because they
going
can.
already.
I wanted this book to be in the hands of as many people as possible because it could save a lot of lives.
Is it
For a
good?
one-time payment of just $37,
Okay, I'm gonna
you'll
leave this
receive the
running for a
massive
sec while I
medical
got my
guide
sweater.
that is the Home Doctor and the 2 bonuses. You'll have a full 60 days to try the Home Doctor, practical medicine for every household. If at any time during that 60 days you're not completely satisfied with the results, send me an email and I'll give you back every cent. It's as simple as that. Also, if you use this book to take care of your current health issues and you don't end up saving at least $37, I'll send you a full refund. No questions asked. That's my personal guarantee to you. Think for yourself, act according to your own judgment, and learn what you need to keep yourself and your family healthy from this day forward. So there you have it. No matter where you live in the world, a collapse is never out of the question. History shows us that much. What better advice can you get than from a frontline doctor working in a country that's been dealing with this for the last couple of years? I've shown you why going to a hospital can be a very bad idea, the best way to stockpile antibiotics and other medicines, why you should extract medicines from plants, and the vital do-it-yourself medical procedures and knowledge you must have on hand. So now the choice is yours. The way I see it, you can do one of these 3 things.
And you'll
First,
make
you could
money.
disregard everything I've told you and hope that a medical collapse will never
Sponsored
happen.
by SpaceX.
Looking back, a lot of
Because
people
I'm
made
going
the
to
same
space
mistake
before
in
I die,
Venezuela,
or after.
and in America too,
Bam.
only to pay the ultimate price when reality hit.
See, I
The
told you I
second thing
don't
you
just
could
wear
do is to
essentials.
try to discover everything found inside the Home Doctor on your own. But let me tell you, if you're not a
Tell me.
doctor or no one willing to help, that will take months or years and probably cost you a lot more than $37.
Don't laugh at me.
But I think that the third option is the best one for you and your family. Take Dr. Maybell's knowledge, as it's written down inside the Home Doctor, and use it to become a home doc yourself.
The Home Doctor.
You'll know exactly what medicines to stockpile for your needs, where to find them on the cheap, and how to perform simple but life-saving procedures from the comfort of your own home.
I'm pressing charges
The
against
Home
you.
Doctor is really all you need to take your health into your own hands from this moment on. If you have the foresight to
it's
purchase it today,
cabbage, not lettuce, but yeah.
this book will protect
Good
you
that
and
you
your
heard
loved
it.
ones for many years to come. And there's absolutely no risk in giving it a try and having something that few people ever get when it comes to healthcare, a real alternative. I wish you all the best, and
Yes,
thank
it's
you for
ending.
staying with me until the end of this short presentation.
Short
God bless
presentation.
you and your entire family. I'm Claude Davis.
We did it just in time too. Will I get there on time? Maybe a couple minutes late. But anyways, so after reviewing that, video will need to change. I'm going to go through, edit out all the bad stuff. I'll try the original too. It is going to be a risk. So let's get some ad approvals before I try anything with this. I'm going to change this title. Lots of different changes to do, but of course, I'm going to live stream all of them because why not, right? You got to do it. You got to live stream it all just to prove that this is how. It's not easy. It's not simple. but it's worthwhile, and you learn a million things on the way. And even with all these lessons, you can learn to promote your own stuff. You can learn to, promote your own products and everything else. Like, there's so many good lessons just from looking at these affiliate offers, because the best direct response performance marketers in the world are promoting all this stuff. So it's like, grab all the lessons from here. Anyways, I'm out. I gotta pick up my kids. I'll be back later. Maybe gaming, maybe gaming, maybe making landing pages, maybe making offers. Who cares? I don't care. What do you have to say about it, Arnold? Let's hear.
If you want to be a champion, you cannot have any kind of an outside negative force coming in and affect you.
Bam.